Hey everyone, my name is Karen Anderson and I'm known as Kai with Kai's Jewelry Designs. This is my first video and I wanted to show you guys how to make this bracelet that I saw. Coach sent out an email. I'm on their email list and it was a really cute bracelet, and I've seen similar things around and I decided I wanted to make something like that because the bracelet costs $115. See my dog leaving. But I didn't want to pay $115, so I did it myself, and I'm going to show you guys how to make it. So let me know if you like it, and I'll make some other things and videos to show you. So I hope you enjoy it. Thanks.
Okay, so this is the bracelet that I saw compared with my bracelet. And then this is just my bracelet. So I just wanted you guys to see. Okay, so let's get started. In the beginning of the video, I'm showing you the original bracelet that I made. I had a leather strip already, so I used that. It's leather on one side, that's why it looks a little different and shiny, and it's suede on the other side. And then I put in different charms because I wanted it to have a different look to it. So, I would suggest that you customize it to your own taste. Here I'm just showing you the different types of supplies that I needed in order to make it. Jump rings of different sizes and charms to come off. These are head pins. Head pins are what you need in order to make this. I'm showing you an eye pin here, so when you go to the store, make sure you ask for head pins and not eye pins, okay? Um, Also, the chain here that I'm showing you, I got at Hobby Lobby. So I wanted to pick things that you could go to your store right now and get. I think I paid $3.99 for it. I took the toggle and clasp from a bracelet I already had, so I'm showing you that. And here I wanted you to know that scissors you could use. This is the suede cord that I got. I'm not sure if I got this at Hobby Lobby or Michael's, but when I made this bracelet for the video, I used this suede cord instead of the other kind. These are the snippers that I use. These are bit nose pliers that I'm using, and then these are flat nose that I'm using as well. Most jewelers have those. Um, Again, I'm showing you the bracelet just so you can see it. You'll see that this one has a shine to it that the one that we're using does not have. And I'm taking it a loose so you can see that when you put the leather on the chain, it starts to form a different shape, and you can kind of see what it looks like when you put it on. This would actually be really cute to stack with other bracelets, really thin. So now I'm going to show you how I took the toggle and clasp off of this bracelet. And then when I open up the jump rings, which is the circular thing that's holding the end of the pieces together, I just took one hand and I moved. I'm right handed, so you use your left hand as to stabilize the jump ring. And then the other one with the bit nose pliers, I just move it slightly forward, and then I took it off, but I didn't close it back because I knew I was going to need it open for later on. Um, and that way you don't mess up your circle and it'll be able to close again. So now I'm going to put that away, and I'm going to start to pull my things together so that we'll have what we need. So now I'm just getting the suede cord that I'm using, and in my video I pulled out more than I would need because I wasn't exactly sure, because last time I didn't measure it. But when I measured it this time, it was about 41 inches. But when I did this, I actually did 48, so I had a little extra left over. But you you want to be able to have a tail when you start and a tail when you end. So not knowing exactly how much, I pulled out a little extra. So now I'm just moving some things out so that I can go ahead and get started. I'm opening up, I'm showing you the price point so you'll know. And at Hobby Lobby you can catch this stuff on sale, or you can get a coupon for 40% off. So this can really be as inexpensive as you want it to be. So I think I measured this for you guys later on in the video, and you'll see it. At this point I'm just gauging it to see how long it is, and I'm showing that when you put the toggle and clasp on, it's going to be a little longer. So here I'm just demonstrating for you that if you needed to take some links out, what you would do, you would use two tools, and then you would move your hand forward, just one hand, not both. So I was just demonstrating it. I didn't take any off of this one, but just in case you need it, you would. Okay, so now I'm showing you how I measured it, and I think it was just I don't exactly remember, so I'll wait till it comes up. So in case I have smaller wrists, so okay, so it's just shy of 7 inches. But once you put the toggle and clasp on, and then I have those two other big rings, you're gonna need the extra space. Now I'm showing you that I took the openings where the two ends meet, and I'm showing you to put that underneath. Turn it around, because in the other bracelet I forgot to do that. So I'm showing you don't do that because it'll be open. Okay, so now I'm starting. I'm taking my cord and I'm sliding it underneath my first link, and I'm keeping that little extra piece, which is my tail. And do you see how I hold it with my thumb just so that it'll be stable? And then I take the other end and I slide it down inside the link, and that's going to be my actual first loop. You're going to have to make sure that you keep everything pulled kind of tightly, because that's going to be the only way that you'll be able to get all the loops in around the whole chain, because each link can only hold so much. So now I'm taking my tail and I'm sticking it up underneath this loop just for a little stability. And I'll may address that later on, but just trying to get it started off where I can pull it tightly without unraveling every loop that I do. So now I'm showing you that I'm turning it and I'm pulling, and I have so much cord here. So just make sure that you don't get your cord tangled up amongst itself. So I'm just showing you how to straighten it out and pull it tightly. Okay, so now I've done my first actual loop on this side, and I'm just going to continue all the way through, and I'm going to keep doing loops, and each time I make sure I straighten it out because I don't want any kinks in my loops. So I'm just straightening it and straightening it and pulling tighter and tighter with each loop that I bring forth. Now I want to say this to you guys as I'm continuing to do this, that when you work with suede, especially the kind that you get in your craft stores, you'll notice that it starts to shed a little bit. You guys can't see it in the video, but it does. It sheds. Now when I worked with the other one with the smooth leather on the other end, it didn't do any of the shedding. So just be mindful of that as you're going through, and I'm showing you how it looks as you start to do it. Now I want you to make sure as well that you're keeping your chain all the way tight and making sure that it it's laying flat the same way, because it'll have a tendency to kind of roll over on you if you don't watch it. And I think I'm just going to go through. Okay, but first I'm going to show you the differences between the suede one and the one with the smooth leather. But it's starting to take its shape. Okay, so I went ahead and did some more, while the video was off. And now I'm coming to the tail end, and I want to show you how to switch over to the other side. It's really simple. You just keep going, and I tried to bring it closer so you could see how some of my loops were not that tight. And now I'm showing you that you need to make sure that the open end is also tucked up under that. Okay, so just make sure you keep your loops tight, and if you notice, I don't actually go inside of my loop because I didn't want to get it tangled up. So I'm showing you what it looks like on my old one, or the first one that I made, and now I'm looping it around and starting on the other side. So I just do that final loop on this side, and then I just take it back through the same link and do another loop. So I am going to continue what I did on the first side on this side. And I can adjust them as I go because it's not glued down, so you can move the leather within reason, and you can have the loops spread as far as you want. I don't think you'll be able to do double loops inside a link unless you're using a smaller cord. And in this case, I'm not. This cord is actually smaller than the first one that I used, but and the first one was a little bit more difficult to get them through once I was on the other side. But I'm showing you that if you have a hard time getting them through as I did the first one, get your some needle nose pliers. Even if you just have something that can catch hold of it and pull it through, because once you get it through, you can use your strength to go ahead and pull the whole thing all the way through. So now I'm showing you how it's starting to form like the other one. So we're almost there. So now we're just going to finish it up. Okay guys, so now I'm getting to the end of this one, and I wanted to show you how when you get to the end you can go ahead and finish it off. So I'm just coming to a closing. I flipped it. Now when I flip it, I'm at the end. Sorry that it's off camera some. I didn't realize it was at the time. But now I just moved over that first loop that I started with, and now I'm making space to be able to bring it through so I can finish up my last loop. And then I'm going to be able to get both of my ends together. You'll see what I do in regards to that. Okay, so now here I have some glue. This is leather glue. You use it to make leather stick. So now I'm showing you that there are different types of endings that you can do with your two tails. I'm showing you that you can just tie them together into a little knot, and you can leave them like that, or you could tie them in a different way. So all of these are options that you can use, but I'm not going to do in one of these. I am going to pull mine together and use a little bit of the leather. I tied a knot on the first one, so this one I'm just doing it a little different. So now I'm going to get my ends together, and I'm going to stick some leather glue there. And I keep wanting to say wood glue, but it's not. It's leather glue. And it's really, really, really thin. So I'm having to dab it off of my fingers because when you're using leather glue, you're supposed to hold it together for a little bit and let the pressure apply upon the leather. So now I'm showing you that it's stuck a little bit, so we're kind of good. But then I had the bright idea to just kind of put a little trimming around it because I didn't like how the suede had that little white look. So I took a head pin and I snapped the end off with my clippers, and then I took it and I decided to wrap it around. You know how tassels have that little um, trimming around them to kind of keep them together? That's what I did with these two. I just decided to take a head pin or just a piece of wire, and I'm wrapping it around several times. Now I'm taking my needle nose, or you can have pliers, whatever you're using, and I'm just kind of pushing them together because my fingers are not strong enough to make them kind of form around the leather. So now I have these ends, so I'm bending them so that they shape around the cord of the leather, and I'm using the wide end of my needle nose just to make sure that they kind of behave. So you see me pushing right here, that's me trying to make sure, and now I'm squeezing them together so that it looks more uniform, kind of more of a little polished look. So now I got to get these little ends off. So after I bend them a little bit, then I'm gonna clip them with my clippers. Now these black clippers I've had forever, so they're not as sharp as I would like, and sometimes when you clip them they kind of leave a little burl on the end, and it's kind of sharp. So that's what I'm showing you. It's got that little end, and you can tuck them underneath sometimes, but being that somebody's gonna have this on their wrist, or myself, I don't want to have anything sharp or scratchy. So after I'm done squeezing this and tucking it together, I just want it to be more flush. um, So you'll see I'm pulling it up or pushing it down, just trying to adjust it to get the right look. And sometimes, that's a matter of preference. So, don't feel, compelled to do that if that's not what you want. Um, Now this is where I'm saying that I have those little sharp ends. So these little clippers are a little bit better. They're a little newer. So I'm trimming off those sharp edges. And now I'm testing it to make sure it's good, and I'm like, okay, now I need to trim off my long end with my short one. And this time I'm using the scissors so you guys can see that you actually can just use scissors in order to do this. You don't always have to have all of these tools. Now I make jewelry, so I have these tools, but the average person doesn't. So you can use scissors, pliers. Just make sure that you use what you're comfortable with. Okay, so now I'm just trimming up my leather tail so that it's more according to what my taste, and I'm adjusting the loops here. um, Next thing I have to do is I'm gonna give um, my bracelet the ends that it needs. So I need to put on my toggle and clasp closure, but you can't just wear those kind just next to the actual bracelet itself, because the the stick part doesn't always fit into the circle part. It needs a little room in order to do that. I don't know if I'm making any sense to you guys, but just trust me, after doing this for years, you have to have a little space. So that's why I put in these extra rings so that my stick end of my closure would have enough room to go in. So I'm just moving out these loops and I'm sticking these in. And I wanted to use the bigger rings because I wanted it to have a little, I don't know, it just, aesthetically, I just liked the way that it looked. So that's why I use the bigger ones. You're welcome to use the smaller ones. Do it according to your taste or your preference. But I just like the look of the big ones, so I just stuck it in. Plus the durability of them, because these are some pretty strong rings. So I know that sometimes when you have bracelets on and you hit your wrist or something, sometimes they kind of take a lot of abuse. So anyway, now I am gonna get my closure. And remember, I told you those I left those jump rings open. Now this is why. So now I don't have to open them back up. So now I just put them on and close them. Easy peasy. So this is the stick in that I was saying that unless it has some extra space, it won't always go into that little circle right there. So that's another reason why you need to put a jump ring between it and your bracelet. Otherwise, you'll have a hard time getting it off and on your wrist. So it just, trust me, it happens. So I'm trying it on. So you see, it easily got on and it easily comes off. So now I'm like, woohoo, the bracelet is almost finished. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put on me some little charms. Now in the picture that Coach has, they have a charm that's black on one side, and then a cord, and their little emblem, like their little tag on another side. So what I decided to do was, instead of using like a black charm, I wanted to use like a silver and black one just to give it a little, difference. So now I'm showing you how I make my circle, and these are round nose pliers that I'm using, and I put it on the jump ring, and now I'm gonna close it. And I always close it with a twist like this, because again, this is on your wrist and it's a charm, and sometimes your charms get they grab things, and you don't want it to be yanked off of your wrist. So that's why I did a little wrap closure on this one. So now I'm going to do the little one, and I need another um, pin, and this one is the flathead one, because the eye pin has the circle at the bottom, and I don't want it to have that. I want it to be a smooth and polished look. So now I'm putting on my jump ring on that, and I'm showing you that it's going to go there. So now all I have to do is just close this one and be ready to go. So I finish it up and wire close this one again, um, so that it'll be able to be on the bracelet without any problem. If it gets tugged on or caught in something, I won't have to worry about it breaking away. So now I'm going to clip off my ends, and then you'll notice that I pick up my other pliers and I just tuck those little ends in, so I don't have to worry about that. That's one of the reasons I use the better clippers too, so I can tuck those in and I wouldn't have to worry about it. Okay, so now I'm gonna add this charm right here close by the tassel. And actually I kind of thought about putting it on the tassel, especially since I did the other decoration. But my concern was it being pulled off. It wouldn't be as secure. So I just decided to go ahead and put it on the link. So I'm moving, and again, this one's off camera some, I'm sorry. I'm moving some of my loops on my first link, and I'm putting it on, and then I'm going to close it up. And you see how even this small jump ring I'm having a hard time getting it because of the leather. And the other one, my other bracelet, I had like two charms on one side. And I didn't have a tail on that one. So I wanted to do a tail on this one because it was closely lined up with the Coach bracelet. So I'm just closing my jump ring here, and I'm showing you once you get it closed, then you take it and you turn it around so that the open and closed ends are inside of your links. So now I'm going to put this one on. I'm going to get it open, and then I'm going to put it on the other side right next to the first link, or I'm sorry, right in the first link, I think is what I do. I think I kind of like was trying to figure out if I wanted to put it at the first one or the second one. And you know, you guys can put your charms anywhere you want to, and you can put a lot of charms on it. You know, this the beauty about this is that you can customize it to whatever interests you. So me, I wanted to make this one as close as possible to the Coach bracelet that I saw, so that you guys could see the similarity. Um, and I'm finishing it up, and I was trying to hold it close so you guys could see that this one I had a little harder time getting it closed. Um, so again, that's off camera, I'm sorry guys, but I wanted to show you that the jump rings come in order to get them flush against each other, you know, you just have to do a small movement. Okay, so now I've got it all on, and I'm showing you what it looks like when it's all pulled together. And now I'm going to compare it to my original bracelet, which I kind of took a few liberties with. Okay, so now I was showing you that I had, so okay, here I'm showing you where you can use different beads, and you can even put beads on the tassels themselves. That's what I was showing you with that big ball. So now, which you can't really see as well, but you could get a small jump ring and you can put it on a tassel, and then you could take that leather tassel and fold it up and put the charm on as I did over there, because that's how I got that charm to stay. Okay guys, that's it. I hope you liked the bracelet. Let me know if you have any comments or questions. You can post them down below the video, and like the video for me. And you can find me on my Facebook page, Kai's Jewelry's Designs. You can ask me questions there as well. Thank you for watching, and have a good day.